Man, I'm so disappointed in myself. I did the goofiest thing ever. I recorded for about 36 minutes for the open mic, mobile open mic, and I went to show the sky or whatever, and then once I flipped the camera back around, I pushed the mute button. Didn't even realize it. Then they're like, this is mute right here. So the whole time it was muted while I was recording. But I pretty much remember what I did. Just to give ourselves a recap of what I did, so I remember the two jokes that I worked on. I worked on the belt versus the chancleta. Basically, Nana versus Abuela, right? And then I did the Kamala Harris joke. Those are like the two main jokes I did. And then I came up with this weird idea of because I said it's sunny outside, so hopefully the YNs don't start doing drive-bys. If they go and do anything, instead of shooting each other, they should just start boxing each other. So just keep boxing gloves tucked in their belt and their coat or whatever they do. Just do drive-by boxing. They got a problem with somebody, they drive up close and they just punch them. Kind of like the video game Road Rash, this motorcycle video game for the Sega Genesis back in like 1993. We used to always play where you'd be knocking each other off the motorcycles, but they use bats, chains, and whips. I'm just saying, don't do none of that. Just use a boxing glove. So those are the main three jokes that I could think of off the top of my head that I said in that set. And then I also was looking at a billboard. If you watch the silent video, you'll see I turned the billboard, I turned the camera around, and you can see the billboard. It's a picture of Gayle King, and Gayle King looks young now, but Gayle King looked young and Asian. So I was asking the question, when did Gayle King become Connie Chung? Because she looked real light all of a sudden, straight hair, and has the Asian face and looks extremely youthful. So those are like the main three things that I could think of that I said. So if anything, this is just a recap. This is just a post recap for me because it didn't catch any of the audio and I'm looking right now. I got nervous again, thinking I didn't catch it. So this is more or less for myself. Now that now that the jokes are still kind of like relatively fresh in my head. Then I also gave comedians or up-and-coming comics the advice of, and I always say this every time you go to a mic, always have a specific agenda of what you're trying to achieve, and you should always be performing new stuff as well as working on old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I came up with this rule. It's called the 60-40 rule. So whenever you're performing, practicing at open mics, young comedians, 60% of what you do should be stuff that's already worked out, that you're perfecting, and 40% should be brand new. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. That way, you're always introducing new stuff every time that you hit the stage, and you're always perfecting stuff whenever you hit that stage. Because if you only do new stuff all the time, that's like putting food in the oven and taking it out before it's done. Putting new food in the oven, taking it out before it's done. What you'll have is just a full table spread and just a bunch of stuff that's not cooked and people not going to receive it well. And conversely, if you only just cook the same thing over and over and over again, leave it in the oven too long, either A, it gets overcooked and it's nasty, or B, people just get tired of the same thing that you're serving over and over. So you want to use a combination of both. 60-40 rule. Make sure you have an agenda with it when you hit that stage. Record all your audios as much as possible and videos, if you have the ability and opportunity to do so. Never rely on anybody else to record your stuff. Record your audios, record your videos. You, as an up-and-coming comic, that is your responsibility. I'm giving you the game for free. You know what I'm saying? Because it was given to me for free. And I just want to see the game in itself get better. And it doesn't cost anything. It just costs you the time that it takes for you to listen to the things that I got to say. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this 12 years. Won over 45 contests, been on a bunch of festivals, got about 4 TV credits. It's not much. I sold a ton of t-shirts. It's not much, but, I've been doing this long enough to have a little bit to say about a little bit. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all, man. My apologies. The last one is pointless. You only hear me for like 30 seconds, and then I try to show the outside. It's completely mute. So I think I'm gonna just leave it up just for funny purposes. For craps and giggles. I'm trying not to curse as much. For what's another word that rhymes with shit? For spits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? for licks and giggles. You know what I'm saying? For licks and giggles, whatever. You know, I'm gonna just leave that up because that's just a mistake I made, and I just want that to be a constant reminder that I literally pushed the mute button and I spoke for 45 minutes and didn't even realize I wasn't recording. That's my apologies. Won't make the same mistake tomorrow. Like I said, this particular video is just for me to remind me of the jokes that I worked on so I can go home and transcribe some stuff. Like the chancleta versus the belt. That joke, I want to write that down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do that. My brother reminded me of that joke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do that in years. You know, so, yeah. All right, man. Holla at y'all. Peace.